Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. I want to first thank Senators Lankford and Rosen for all the hard work that goes into arranging one of these trips. A lot of optimism. But as Senator Sullivan pointed out, still a lot of risk, not only from Iran, but from China. We're present today in the Middle East. I've spent my first visit to the region was in 1989, my second in 1991 during Operation Desert Storm. So for me, despite being there last year as well, it's good to spend some more time because it's so important to our national security. Last time I was in Bahrain was in the middle of Operation Desert Storm when I had a hydraulic failure in my airplane and had to do an emergency landing at Sheikh Isa Airport. This was my next time back, 30-something years later. The highlight of this trip for me, a couple takeaways, from this. I would say one is the strength and the professionalism of the members of our military that serve with CENTCOM, with NAVCENT. We spent some time with sailors, soldiers, airmen, Marines, at both Al Dhafra and in Bahrain with the naval contingent of the Central Command. And the work they're doing in the Arabian Gulf especially, interdicting weapons that are coming from Iran to the Houthis. That's a job nobody else can coordinate at the level that we can. And the leadership there, the United States Navy, but the other services as well, is so critical to our national security. Having said that, if we're not there, the Chinese will be there. They're there already. And if we leave a vacuum, I'll guarantee you they will fill it. They're already making some bad deals with countries that are not, these deals are not in our best interest. I think a lot of us talked about the optimism, but there is also a lot of risk. The visit that we had with the Palestinian Authority highlighted to me that there is a lot more work to do, not just with the Abraham Accords, but the work needed to get to a resolution of the plight of the Palestinians in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. A two-state solution, in my view, and I think of, probably a lot of us on this stage, if not all of us, is essential for stability in the region. And if we can't figure this out, this is going to result in the Iranians having more influence. So it's critical that we do this and continue to work on it. Another big value of the trip for me is certainly we share some problems in Arizona that the region shares, which is scarcity of water. Trying to grow crops in a desert. In the state of Arizona, we grow an enormous amount of our food supply in a very arid and challenging environment. So there's a lot of value in this trip for me. And let me just conclude with saying, the seven of us being there, bipartisan, sends a very strong message to these countries. It is much different than if we show up just as Democrats or just as Republicans. So this trip was not only valuable, I think, for us as individuals, but for our country as well. Thank you. And let me turn it over to the Senator from North Carolina, Ted Budd.